Hi, this is Sarah at Health by Sarah, and today I want to teach you how to make a simple cracker recipe. I'm actually using a whole grain organic amaranth, and I have pre-soaked it, filtered water with apple cider vinegar for 2 days. You could just simply do it for 1 day, but I forgot about it for a couple days. And so if you see by the stove, I have chicken broth, 2 cups of chicken broth, and I already put the amaranth in there. I'm just going to turn it on to high, and it's already coming to a boil, but I'm going to add in some fat. This is palm shortening. That's the only type of shortening I would ever recommend because it's made from palm oil. I would not recommend the terrible vegetable oils. But I'm adding about a tablespoon of this in there. You could add ghee or butter if you wanted to, and that would make it taste delicious. Next, I'm going to add some Himalayan sea salt, or Himalayan salt. You could add Celtic sea salt as well. Half a teaspoon. I'm doing half a teaspoon, if I can get it out, of rosemary, and half a teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just going to mix it up just to make sure that the spices get all mixed in, the clump of garlic powder in there. And there's no flour required for this recipe. We're just going to use the whole grain. So now that it came to a boil, I'm going to put it down to a simmer, and we're going to cook it for about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to check on it in 10 minutes. And I have preheated the oven to 325 degrees because this recipe requires baking time. So when we come back, I'm going to show you the rest. Alright, we're back. So I cooked the amaranth on simmer for 10 minutes, but it turns out I used too much chicken broth, so I had to reduce it down. And I want you to see, this is the consistency it needs to be, or even thicker than that. It's about the thickness of a porridge, like oatmeal. So I'm just going to pour it onto my parchment paper, on my baking stone, on a thin layer. And as I said before, I had the oven set to 325, and preferably on unbleached parchment paper, but this is all I have at the moment. So I'm just going to try to spread it as thin as I can. And basically, with crackers, you don't want to have any sort of moisture in them. So baking times can vary. You could also put it in the dehydrator. And lastly, I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit more rosemary just because I love rosemary. And I also want to crack some pepper on it. And a little bit of salt as well. Alright, so I'm just going to put that right into the oven. That's about it. I'm going to do it for 20 minutes initially, and I just recommend that you check on it periodically to make sure that it's not too dry. And then right when it comes out of the oven, take a pizza cutter and just score it right where you want to cut it, and cut it into crackers. You want to do it when it's warm, because if you wait until it's cool, then it's going to break apart. And that's about it. That's how you make these simple grain-free, gluten-free crackers, amaranth. And let me know what you think in the comments.